aggro.
Oh, really? Son of a bitch. Ah, I don't want to stop. God damn it. Alright. I mean, I guess I'm not that far from the... I'm not even that far from the vendor. I should stop bitching.
What now?
What are you looking for?
I'm listening. Rest your weary bones for a spell.
Finally, I was like, where is this guy? Hey, come back. No! Are you dead? Fucking die. So annoying. What?
Aggro. Aggro.
I can't see. Oh. Maybe I won't go sub. I don't need to, frankly. Oops. I'll give him his 10. Oops. Oops. $1. 10 silver.
Aggro.
Please trade. Why am I not able to... Okay, there we go. Oh, yeah.
Aggro.
Sell that. Now I gotta go to Undercity. I should Hearthstone to Undercity, or set my Hearthstone to... Now I have to make a trip to Undercity, and I don't want to, but I have to. He thought about it. He was like, wait, this guy's fucking with me. No, no. I will double my money. I will go post this for 20 silver right now.
Aggro.
Absolutely. I will double my money. And when I wake up in the morning, 10 silver that I spent today will be 20 silver tomorrow. For 0 work. Be on a run to, you know...
Aggro.
Wait. Wait, how am I doing this wrong? Wait. This seems wrong. Wait, what? Why does my map seem wrong? It's weird. God damn it, I don't know this zone at all. I'm in the wrong place. Oh, it's because I'm on the west side of it. I'm thinking I'm there, but I'm here. Yeah, I forgot. I forget how you even get in from this angle. It's like the... Oh, yeah, that's the other zone, right? You can get in through a pipe, but I can't remember. It's been so long. I want a green to fall. Why do these people get lucky? I have to buy it with my hard work. It's so annoying. I'm kidding. Quite fun though. Most fun this game's been in a long time, I gotta say. I didn't expect it to be fun, but the new economy is very fun to me. The economy is more fascinating to me than any of the crappy content. Oh, I didn't get off. God damn it, I was busy. Oh, I hate the elevator. It's so annoying. RFC. What level is he? Fucking 12. Jesus. I want to go to RFC. Just because I feel like you could just get carried chaining it or whatever. $80 copper, because there's a lot of them. I'm not selling for that little, though. I want 99. No, I'll sell for that little. I don't care. Malachites for 10 copper doesn't make sense, really. I kind of want to buy them out, but it's a dumb use of the copper, kind of. That one for 11 copper is I don't know. Yeah, like these won't sell today, but they'll sell tomorrow. I'm tempted to buy this. I don't know. I want the copper right now. I don't care. Alright, this is where the real money is. Yup. 1989. I'll take double the money right now. I'll take double the money. Absolutely. What about daggers? You got any daggers for me? Come on, give me a dagger. Any kind of dagger. 6 silver for carving knife of stamina. I'm inclined to take it because who cares? It's double the damage I've got right now. That's a good deal no matter how you look at it. I'm taking it. That was an impulse purchase that I really shouldn't have. But I mean, I can already sell like another silver and a half worth of leather. I think the money is why I'm doing this. It's weird. The econ is... I didn't expect the econ to kind of jump at me like that, but I think the econ can be very fun. Like I did not mind buying that 6 silver dagger hour 4 of the entire expansion. Because I'm like already pretty much hood rich. I'm like hood rich somehow. I was like hood rich. I should not have been able to afford that dagger. I don't think my friend can, but I bet I can. I bet I've got a green dagger and he doesn't. I guarantee you. So now, 2 minutes on the Hearthstone. Constructively, the best I can do here is do labor. Yeah, labor. So, yeah, and sell the light armor kits. I should technically put them on the auction house, but I mean, I don't think anybody cares about light armor kits and non-hardcore. Battle chain pants, 12 silver. Severing axe for 15 silver is a good deal. I could pull 5 off that. Somebody will buy that 2-hand axe, definitely, but... See already, look, some of these other people are into the econ. They're actually trying to get their money. I can't believe they're sitting around selling, though. I mean, they're not, though. They're going to be, like, crafting right now. Ask a guard. Embossed, look at all these greens starting to pop. Embossed leather vest, I want that. How much for that? I know, I'll be able to make one of those in a minute. He's selling his leather working stuff. Primal Wraps of the Wolf, how much for that? I wish I had that. That guy has good stuff. I want that chess piece. Whatever. Where the fuck did you even get that at? What level is he? He's 13. What the fuck? It's because they're chaining WC already. They're like an Asian 5-man crew. I wish I had that. People that actually ever helped me ever, you know, like people that I wanted around me. I'm just saying. No, I have friends that help me all the time. I'm kidding. I just like, man, I wish I had an Asian 5-man. Because I know that's what it is. I mean, that's racist, but it's true. It's going to be like 5 people. It's going to be like a 5-man Asian crew running like Wailing Caverns on cooldown. And then Stocks on cooldown. And then, you know, that's like seriously. And they're not selling things. They're just playing the game, too. They're not selling their currency either. They're trying to be the best people on, you know, Season of Discovery. And the greens are how you do that. See it? Yep, for hunting bow, right? For a hunting bow. He's smart. Severing axe to the whale for a hunting bow. It's not a bad trade. I kind of wish I had a hunting bow right now. It's a better trade. It's a good trade. It's like a 14 silver. Like, see, the econ is fascinating to me. It's like a 14 silver profit I could flip right off the top if I could get my hands on a hunting bow. This is when having like a guild full of people. Anybody got a hunting bow, yo? Because I could flip it for 14 silver right now. It's only worth 6, you know? Just saying. I want to start a guild right the fuck now. And I don't remember how much that costs to make a guild. It's a lot. I think it's like 10 gold. How are they getting these guilds already? Or is it? No, it's 10 silver. 10 silver. I should start a PvP guild. Just to see where it goes.
quickly.
Oh, 5 silver.
The defenders on the bulwark protecting Tirisfal from the plague lands are on constant alert, but sometimes Scourge will slip past them. Our success at the bulwark depends on a one-front battle. We cannot allow an attack from the rear, nor can we allow our defenders' supply line to be cut. Assist the bulwark, patrol east, and slay any Scourge.
Watch me make my money too. You think I'm kidding? Nah, I'll make my money and I'll buy like 4 fucking bags off meeting that guy and blowing 10 silver. I'll get 4 bags off it. 4 or 5 silver bags of 8 slots each. That's why I did it. I'm like, I know how I can turn this guy's Whisperer into 4 bags, and well, my 10 silver into 4 bags, right? This guy's Whisperer, my 10 silver into 4 bags, and I did. I'll make my sale. Someone will want that axe. Nope, nope, mine. Can't have it. My god, he's faster than me.
Aggro. Aggro. Aggro.
Wait. You can't link it? Come on, you can't. I should have looked into, like, god damn it, I can't do anything but Throne. It's so annoying. Wait, I don't know why I pulled that 5, but 5's easy to kill. Yeah, it's honestly good XP.
Aggro.
Wow.
Aggro. 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 Aggro.
What do you require? Do not seek death. And you are... Goodbye. What is it?
Wait, I think I want to go visit the...
What are you looking for? Which profession? That would be Shalene Robart. Take the road southeast out of Brill, then head east at the intersection. She's at a camp along the side of the road. Oh, I was gonna... Oops. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, I should be okay.
You've got the hang of it. I can't teach you anymore, but talk to Arthur Moore, a Forsaken who works in the
50
rogues quarter of the
copper.
Undercity. Tell him I sent you.
Bitch.
Embrace the shadow.
Is there a vendor here? No. Oh my god, I have to farm so much. Whatever. Damn it. It's alright. Starting to feel that skinning though.
Aggro. Aggro. Aggro.
haven't got all day. Watch your back.
I haven't got all day.
Rest your weary bones for a spell.
Do not seek death.
Fuck. That wipes me out. Let's go back out and before I can even train. Son of a bitch, but I mean, I needed it. Where was the best skinning that I saw? It was like, yeah, it is up here. It's up here. It's alright. I'll skin like 60 corpses and I'll be done. 1. 2. 3.
Aggro.
One waylaid shipment. Aww. That's unfortunate.
Aggro. 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 Aggro.
Oh my god. Oh, I know. Yeah, I bought that stupid stiletto. It was so stupid. That's a silver, though. Which is helpful. Yeah, I think I'm alright. Once I make my sales, I'm alright. I could sell half my wool bandages, too.
trust no one.
Gotta pee while I make these bandages. I'll be right back, guys. Oh, why did you stop? Oh, keyboard, yeah. Alright, let's see what people say while I eat my salad. Let's see what people think about Season of Discovery. Oh no. Let's do that one.
That time of the month again where a multi-millionaire influencer decides that they're going to go fully mask off and prove to everybody just how out of touch they are. Out of touch with what you ask, reality. Completely living in another dimension of privilege, entirely forgetting that the only reason they exist in such privilege is built from standing on the shoulders of the people they now laugh at. Yes, I'm now going to talk about Pokimane.
When people are like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyways, moving on.
For those of you that don't know what you've just seen, let me fill you in. Pokimane is a popular streamer on Twitch, one of the most popular in fact. She's got tens of millions of followers across all social media platforms, tens of millions of dollars in assets, and like most other live streamers, has done her fair share of oopsies while live, which has resulted in some absolutely classic YouTube apology videos.
Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. This video is to address recent comments and criticisms that I've received.
So I'm going to try and speedrun the info of what the big controversy is and not go into too many details. A lot of videos covering this are probably going to go into the many controversies of Pokimane, what she's said, what she's done over the years. But that's done to death, so instead I want to look at how ridiculous this entire situation's been and how this drama has basically been created out of nothing at all apart from ego. First off, timeline of events. What started it all was the most mundane, boring shit you can imagine. Pokimane released some cookies. Seriously, that's what this is all about. Her snack brand, Minor, was released, along with the first product called Midnight Cookies. These cookies were heavily criticised for 2 reasons. First, the price. Each pack of 4 ounces costs $7, with the only way to buy a pack being a 4-pack for $28, plus then of course shipping and handling fees. Basically $28 for 16 ounces of cookies. Expensive? Yeah, definitely. Then the other reason for the criticism that ties directly into the pricing is that these cookies were very quickly discovered to be a slightly different version of an existing snack that is sold in Costco called Tootsie's Midnight Cookies. Now these were already criticised by some people for being expensive, although nice, and they were $10 for 14 ounces. So for like a third of the price you get almost the same amount. So there you go, that's the whole drama, at least the initial part of it that shouldn't have really been a big deal in the first place. Basically people were accusing her of ripping off the brand. Now obviously a multi-millionaire didn't rip off a well-known cookie brand, she just worked with the creators of those cookies, Creation Foods, to make her own version with a slight change up in formula and with her own packaging. This is commonly referred to as white labeling. And sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but this is how a lot of things are made, especially influencer products. So basically, this drama is that the cookies are similar to other cookies and more expensive. If this entire story ends there, obviously I'm not going to talk about it and I'd basically be sleeping because realistically no one should care about any of this. Influencer products are always going to be more expensive because you're buying something almost exclusively for the name brand behind it to support them, at least to begin with. Later on, maybe the product stands on its own and, you know, takes a life of its own away from that brand name. But at the very beginning, you're basically paying a premium because it's from the creator that you watch. Otherwise, why would you buy them in the first place? You can probably get good cookies at a local place. Why would you need to get these? So them being expensive is not that much of a drama in my opinion, other than to say, oh, greedy influencer millionaire wants to earn more money for their greedy influencer millionaire lifestyle. Which, you know, water's wet, I guess. So this was kind of confusing to me to see everyone going too crazy about it because this is just another thing that they do. Obviously, nobody's ever seen an influencer version of a product having unique value or being a lower cost than a generic brand. That's just not real life. So as a content creator myself, when I saw this going on, I thought, Pokimane's been around on the internet for such a long time, doing this job for such a long time. She's just going to ignore people talking about the price, clarify on the fact it's not a rip-off, and move on with life. Continue to just earn her dragon's hoard of wealth like she's been doing for the last 5 or so years. You know, life goes on. Because obviously, as a multi-millionaire sitting in a mansion, why the fuck do you care if people are complaining about things you do on the internet? It just doesn't matter, does it? But obviously, Pokimane made the classic mistake of addressing a controversy that she had no reason to even acknowledge, and in doing so revealed how ridiculously out of touch she is with reality.
Like, oh my god, $28 for cookies?
Now, let me first explain to you that you absolutely do not, as a multi-millionaire influencer, ever talk about money. Nothing you say regarding
I'm
finances or
listening.
money is
I
gonna be
appreciate your
relevant to
efforts,
99% of
adventurer.
your audience.
May
The audience
Sylvanas
who literally
recognize
made you
your
that money, by
bravery
the way.
one day.
You don't have their problems with finances, you don't live in the same world as they do, and you've likely been so far away from that world for such a long time, if you ever lived there in the first place, that you're entirely out of touch with it now. So
What is
don't
it?
pretend to have
I
money
appreciate
struggles,
your
don't talk
efforts,
about how much money
adventurer.
you have,
May
don't flex
Sylvanas
these
recognize your
lavish
bravery
or
one
done.
day.
Just leave the topic alone. No good can come from it, ever. Pokimane, however, looked at people talking about her product, most of which
With
were
the
not
sanction
her
of Lord
customers in the first
Varamathras,
place,
the Death
and decided
Stalker's
to
numbers
address the whole
grow.
situation
More
with a
blades
broad
to strike at
stroke
our enemies when
of
they least
nothing
expect
but
it.
stupidity, essentially shitting on every one of her audience who shared the criticism that the cookies are too expensive by calling them broke boys for not wanting to buy her expensive influencer marked up products.
If you're a broke boy, just say so. Anyways, moving on.
And of course, this is the same energy.
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
Now, before we continue, just for context, here is another clip of Pokey talking about money and how much of it she has.
Why would I compromise my morals and ethics for more money when I have money? Something about that is so cringe to me personally.
Obviously, people started digging around her VODs and finding things, and the broke boy shit immediately set fire to this whole situation, simply because Pokimane thought the best way to address criticism is to make broad statements about anyone making that criticism. What made this all worse is that instead of just understanding that this was a glaring mistake and being a human being with a response to the shitstorm, Pokimane tried to style it off as a joke, when clearly anyone who has a functional brain
That was not a joke.
can see and hear that this is not a joke. It's her actual feelings on the topic. To say this is a joke illustrates either she doesn't understand what a joke is, wants to gaslight the entire population,
Or she's playing it down.
by saying it is
She's
one,
just playing it down.
or is going with the
Which is what she
stupidest
should
geometry
do.
possible when there's a real easy alternative. All she had to do at this point was to say, yeah, sorry guys, been getting slammed on social media over this, and I was frustrated, so I made a remark that I shouldn't have done, and upon reflecting on what I said, I understand it was wrong, and I shouldn't have conveyed my thoughts in that way. My emotions just got the better of me. A super easily understood human response. Instead, calling people broke boys and then saying, lol, I'm actually joking, haha, XD, it's, you know, it doesn't really work, does it? Now that's all I'm going to say on the whole Pokimane, what she said and did. Instead, I now want to talk about the Pokimane Defense Force and the elephant in the room, so buckle up, because this is where it gets wild. A Twitter user, and I believe also a Twitch streamer, posted this in response to the backlash about Pokimane. Not the cookie drama, but of course when she called her audience broke boys for not buying the cookies. It says essentially that because some other bad content creators who do bad things don't get dogpiled for doing so, people doing it to Pokimane for a slightly less bad thing are sexist and checks notes, hates women. Now obviously, this tweet is patently false in every single way, and aside from the fact I can read the words that are there in English and understand what they mean, it makes no real sense from start to finish in any other way. Firstly, the content creators she mentioned are some of the most criticised creators on the planet. There are literally hundreds of videos about them, and some of these creators are actually deplatformed off most of the big social media sites. The idea that those people aren't being criticised for their actions is so wrong that in order to think so, you would either need to be unaware of who they are in the first place, making their example useless, or to ignore this fact in order to build a lie about what comes next. The framing is that people are criticising Pokimane purely because she wants to sell cookies, which as far as I'm aware is a straw man. I've not forensically analysed every account on social media in existence, but I've also not seen any highly upvoted, liked or retweeted posts that do this. People criticised her for the price and for the white labelling that they likely didn't understand, and not for the simple fact that she wanted to sell cookies. If she said, I'm going to sell cookies, and people went, oh no, that's really bad, you shouldn't do that, that would mean they were criticising the choice, and not the fact that people said, oh, they're too expensive, which means they're criticising the price. Obviously, both of the points here that are made are already wrong, but both are only there to prop up this idea that to criticize someone for something is inherently sexist.
Expertly done,
because they happen
adventurer.
to be a woman.
The Scourge
sake
are
of things,
mistaken if
what
they
is
think they
sexism?
can use
It's
those
prejudice or
corpses against
discrimination
us,
based on sex.
and the fluid
So
you
she's
gathered
saying
from the
you can't
wrought-hide
have it-
slaves will be studied by our apothecaries. It may have secrets we can use against them. As I said, well done. But our struggle continues, and the conflict will surely offer you more chances to prove your worth to the Forsaken. I need a fresh report from our Death Guard way station to the east. I must know if more Scourge forces have slipped past the bulwark and into Tirisfal. Our vigilance on the border to the Plague Lands must be maintained. We can't let the Scourge get a stronger foothold here. Travel south along the road, then east at the fork to the way station. Speak with Death Guard Linnea. She has the information I need. Bethor Iceshard, a high-ranking and powerful mage in the Undercity to the south, commands me to send him an agent with proven worth against the Scourge. You, adventurer, will be that agent. Present these orders to Bethor. He will then instruct you on your mission. I don't know its details, but it deals with recruiting a wayward lich, and it will be dangerous. So ready yourself, adventurer. You must not fail. You may find Bethor in the magic quarter of the Undercity.
Embrace the shadow. Magistrate Severin wants a report. Very well. The defenders at the Bulwark are holding the majority of the Scourge at bay, but some do slip through on occasion. We have seen sporadic Scourge activity east of this station, with a concentration around the Balnir farmstead. Now return to Magistrate Severin with the information I gave you. He'll want it as soon as possible, so be swift. And if you see any Scourge on your way back, take them down. We can't let them wander our lands unchallenged.
An issue with what Pokimane said, unless you hate women, which obviously is not how any of this works. Now, I will also say, just because this is a real thing, there are a lot of sexist gamers and some people who will jump on any bandwagon against any woman for any reason because they are sexist, and that does exist. But that doesn't mean the actual core criticism means you are being sexist if you use that core criticism. There will be sexist people who jump to this opportunity and got involved, but that happens regardless. And labeling real complaints such as this as sexism does nothing but harm people who do experience real sexism based on their gender and not on complaints about a human's actions. And to illustrate that this isn't based on sex, you only have to look so far as any other content creator in history who has been criticised for similar practices. XQC flaunts his wealth by sending pictures of his expensive watch to H3H3 during their disagreement, and of course gets rightfully utterly shit on by the internet for being an out-of-touch clown about money. XQC responds to criticism about him making money reacting to war footage, tweets a picture of him holding money to his ear with a suitcase full of cash. Again, complete criticism from pretty much every... You only have to look so far, but it doesn't mean the actual core criticism means you are being sexist if you use that core criticism. There will be sexist people who jump to this opportunity and got involved, but that happens regardless. And labeling real complaints such as this as sexism does nothing but harm people who do experience real sexism based on their gender and not on complaints about a human's actions. And to illustrate that this isn't based on sex, you only have to look so far as any other content creator in history who has been criticised for similar practices. XQC flaunts his wealth by sending pictures of his expensive watch to H3H3 during their disagreement, and of course gets rightfully utterly shit on by the internet for being an out-of-touch clown about money. XQC responds to criticism about him making money reacting to war footage, tweets a picture of him holding money to his ear with a suitcase full of cash. Again, complete criticism from pretty much everybody for him doing this. Logan Paul sells Prime, you know, that drink that all the kids go wild for, and he of course gets utterly shit on when it's being overpriced in shops. In fact, you only have to be a content creator to know There's a vocal portion of everyone's audience that will utterly destroy you in your comment section or anywhere on the internet for anything when it comes to making money. Sponsors, merch, products, anything you do. This is a common thing. For the reason people don't want you making money, and if you make something and it's expensive or more expensive than other things, despite the fact that you probably don't have all the infrastructure built up to make them cheaper in the first place, people will criticize you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, you know, what's between your legs. This is nothing to do with gender. Never was. So basically we can add this to the list of things people turn into something it isn't in order to push their very clear bias and agenda.
The Lich King
Apparently
and
no one
his
can have legit
minions are
criticisms about
ceaseless
something
in
someone
their
does
assaults,
nowadays
but we
without it
will
being
not
some
give
form
in.
of prejudice
He will
or
not
hatred
take us again.
if that person is a certain group. A concept that only harms when people experience actual prejudice for real reasons.
What's up, number 2?
So realistically, this whole thing was a complete non-issue until Pokimane made it an issue and started doing something she should have known better than to do. She's been a creator now for close to a decade, I believe. She's been through so many controversies and posted Hall of Fame YouTuber apology videos regarding the things she's been caught doing, so it should very much confuse you when she's getting caught up in something so clearly stupid. It's a classic case of letting your ego get in the way, something that these multi-millionaire influencers seem to be incapable of escaping. But then again, I guess that's why people like Elon Musk buy Twitter. When you've got all the money in the world, what else do you have other than your vanity? But there we go. That's how Pokimane turned an absolutely nothing burger into an indulgent family feast. It's about that time of the month.
Nothing burger was the phrase I was looking for earlier today, when it's filled with nothing. Uh-oh.
Today's video is brought to you by our friend.
Thank you, Kira TV, for the excellent concept for my stream while I ate dinner. I'd like to sub to your channel. It was a good video.
Today's video is brought to
emulating might be more illegal than I thought by some ordinary gamers. I'd like to sub to your channel.
By our friends over at Brilliant, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever wondered, whoa, how do I get good at math, data science, computer science?
By the way, it is sexist when they attack her like that. He's wrong. They cannot handle it when a woman makes more money than them. They can't handle it when a woman makes money at all. A lot of them. Like, 40% of the males out there cannot handle it when a woman is successful. This is true. And so they go digging through the woman's life looking for something that they can criticize. They find their ammunition. They take their shot. And you know, this is how it is. But this particular one, he is right in the respect that this particular one was not about gender. It was not about gender, but the point the person was making, it does happen. It does happen. Women do get discriminated. So
complicated topics and chances. Today's video is brought to you by our friends over at Brilliant, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever wondered, whoa, how do I get good at math, data science, computer science? Oh boy, these are complicated topics, and chances are if you crack open a book, you may just fall asleep. So Brilliant is over here to get a fun, intuitive, and incredibly interactive way for you to actually jump down and learn these complex topics with ease. Something catered specifically to you. Ladies and gentlemen, new lessons added every single month. They create the actual pace for you. They ask you a few questions, figure out your skill level, and even if you're an absolute beginner all the way to somebody that is a complete expert, chances are you will learn something new. For instance, one course that's interesting is understanding data science. Because as a YouTuber, understanding trends and how the data in the YouTube analytics interacts with each other helps us figure out what kind of content works best. But let's say that you're somebody that's just really busy, or again, you want to advance your career, or you just need an incredibly effective way to learn. Brilliant is absolutely great for you. Now, if you want to get started free for 30 days and start an educational journey, that's all the way down there. You can use our special link in the description below. And of course, the first 200 people using that link get a 20% annual plan by visiting that URL, ladies and gentlemen. That is brilliant.org/SOG. Please go check it out if this interests you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get on with the video. Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and I'll be honest, I think I'm breaking the law, to be real with you. Now, emulators are a huge thing for me to discuss.
Aggro.
I'm a big game preservationist guy. I love talking about preserving games like Breath of the Wild for 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 years. I want people to play good games down the road. And if you're somebody that says, "L, old man, how could you play boring old games? Just buy the new stuff." Ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you, gaming is timeless, and there's a lot of games from back in the day that tons of people load up now and absolutely enjoy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, emulating is pretty much how I do most of my gaming, especially these days. There's a lot of games I missed growing up from the PlayStation 2, the GameCube era, heck, even from the Wii 360, PlayStation 3 era. And now there's no better time but to go back, relax, load them up on the Steam Deck, and call it a day. But the more and more that I've been emulating, the more I've actually been researching into the legality surrounding emulation as well. Because I've been confidently saying emulators are very legal. But what about the games that we end up dumping? I think I've been breaking the law by dumping games. But let's get into the start of it. So I bought the Steam Deck OLED from Valve, and it is a very, very good upgrade over the original Steam Deck, which I already had no issues with.
Which makes me wonder, why didn't they just release the OLED originally?
For anybody that's wondering, the Steam Deck is Valve's hardware that they've released. Think of it like a handheld gaming PC. You've got multiple devices on the market from GPD, Aya, you've got Asus, and then you've also got Lenovo recently with a straight-up Switch-like handheld gaming PC. But Valve is the one that, in my opinion, does it the best. For instance, the Steam Deck OLED already has a punchier screen, an OLED screen. Now, if you know that, I love me the OLEDs. I got the PlayStation Vita. This thing is god tier. I am one of the ardent thousands of people who support this to its dying breath. And of course, the Switch OLED is a pretty decent option. You know, a lot of games look
Vita's
great with an
good.
OLED. You can play Super Mario Wonder and just say, "God damn!" The OLED adds that extra color pop. Now, of course,
Aggro.
this is Valve's response to the actual OLED Switch. Which again, this is a more vibrant screen. They've got HDR support, so games like Cyberpunk look amazing when they've got HDR enabled. You've also got games like Batman Arkham Knight, which absolutely pop compared to the original Steam Deck. And of course, beyond the screen just being better, you've also got, thinner bezels, so it really feels like the screen is a little bigger. The system is also lighter, and of course, the battery has been increased. If you remember the original Steam Deck, running games like Cyberpunk would give you maybe like an hour, 20 minutes of game time. With this, I've noticed an average of some of the heaviest games giving me an extra hour of game time, which again is
Aggro.
plenty enough for me. Look, if I can play Cyberpunk for like 2 hours on a device like this, with HDR, sure, the graphics aren't the greatest, but it's literally all I want. This is one of the best gaming devices, period. And the best part about the Steam Deck is it can be as simple as you want, or it can be as convoluted and complex as you want. So if you want to treat this like a standard gaming console and just install games from
Aggro.
Steam and call it a day, you can. But I think I speak for most people when they buy something like the Steam Deck, they're emulating on it. Even Valve's own promotional material once showed them running the Yuzu emulator. Not running, but sorry, it was sitting there on the home screen. Somebody at Valve really liked playing Switch games on their hardware, and it shows. One of the most emulated systems on this device right now, according to certain surveys from Overkill, found that Steam Deck guys and gals love the PlayStation 2. And why do they love the PlayStation 2? So they can play Silent Hill 2 on that juicy OLED anywhere they go. Now, to understand, ladies and gentlemen, the laws surrounding emulation have been relatively clear-cut when it comes to the programs themselves.
Yeah.
So if we go back in time to, obviously, one of the most famous cases, Bleem, where Sony actually ended up suing one of the commercial companies, Bleem, a proprietary emulator released back in 1999, because at the time, these people were basically allowing anybody to play actual PS1 games on the PC. So back in the day, Sony would advertise that you could play Ridge Racer, or I guess better examples would be Gran Turismo, which was like a showstopper. Back then, Gran Turismo looked like Crysis for some people. And honestly, there's no shock. Some people thought video game graphics couldn't even get better. But of course, with Bleem and emulator software in general, they would proudly and loudly advertise that their system could get 3 times higher resolutions, realistic fire effects if you added advanced filtering, and of course, lightning fast load times. So you can imagine Sony would probably be pissing and shitting themselves when they realized, wow, these guys are just selling a piece of software and nobody's going to be buying our hardware. So of course, lawsuits were filed, mistakes were made, and Sony had effectively laid precedent for gamers just basically being allowed to emulate since then. According to the lawsuit, Sony filed them over copyright. Sony actually accused Bleem of engaging in unfair competition by letting the PlayStation BIOS be used on a personal computer. But of course, the judge restricted that notion. They actually issued a protective order, which is considered the protection of David from Goliath. Sony had a second copyright allegation in regards to them using screenshots of Gran Turismo, Ridge Racer, so on and so forth, comparing how it looked natively resolution-wise on the PS1 to how you could up the resolution by 3 times and get rid of all the jaggies and make your games look sharp as fuck. Now, of course, this is not something that's new necessarily. Even to this day, there's been plenty of lawsuits, not lawsuits, but at least DMCA takedowns of advertising in regards for certain emulators. Back when Persona 5 dropped and RPCS3 was basically the poster child for playing Persona 5 on the PC, Sega wasn't taking that too kindly. And it's ever since then that Persona 5 is pretty much officially unattached from that project. Not to say that you can't play Persona 5 on RPCS3, but at this point the game's already out on Steam, so why even bother? Now, in regards to any of this, because of this lawsuit, Bleem had effectively ran into some serious financial problems. And that's because the law is expensive, okay? That's just how it works. And that is why you are able to emulate even the Switch to this day, or the PlayStation 3, because emulators by themselves are not illegal, okay? Unless, of course, those emulators start releasing copyrighted materials in their software. Remember when very recently that you had Nintendo take down Dolphin, the emulator from Steam? That's because Nintendo alleged that Dolphin had actually released their decryption keys in their source code. And me, and along other channels like MBG, looked closer into the source code and found that for the longest time, an emulator developer was literally violating the law by releasing actual copyrighted information for the internet to download. So this is why games require BIOS files. For instance, if you want to play PCSX2 games on your system, PlayStation 2 software, you need a BIOS file. Now, most people, I assume, probably just download this for free on the internet. That's not legal. The way that you get it is you actually download dumping tools, run it on an actual PlayStation 2, and dump your region's actual firmware right for you to use. That's pretty much the only legal way to get things done. But again, this brings up some legalities, because very recently, Nintendo actually issued a DMCA against something known as Lockpick RCM. Now, for those of you who don't know what Lockpick RCM is, it's the only way for you to get Switch keys from your actual Nintendo Switch and dump them onto the PC. So, for instance, this is a first-generation Nintendo Switch. And the reason why I have a first-generation Nintendo Switch is no matter what you do to it update-wise, it contains an actual exploit. By ripping off the right Joy-Con and sticking in a little jig-kick device into this rail, you can actually launch a payload that will allow you to actually dump keys off of your hacked Switch. So again, ladies and gentlemen, the way that this works is, because of a hardware exploit left in by NVIDIA, Nintendo cannot patch this, which means they can keep releasing firmware updates, and you can keep dumping their keys. But with Nintendo taking down that Lockpick RCM, it's basically made it so that that whole aspect is a bit legally questionable, okay? So Nintendo, when they took down Lockpick RCM, literally had written why they took it down. They said the Nintendo Switch console and video games contain multiple technological protection measures, and those include that permitting the Nintendo Switch console to interact only with legitimate Nintendo video game files. This process protects Nintendo's copyright-protected video games including but not limited to those covered, such as Super Mario Maker 2, Animal Crossing New Horizons, Luigi's Mansion
Aggro.
3, and Breath of the Wild, by preventing users from playing pirated copies of the Nintendo video games on the Nintendo Switch console, and by preventing users from unlawfully copying and playing Nintendo's video games on unauthorized devices. Now, this is what led me to another lawsuit to research, and this is Sega v. Accolade. So, this screen that you're seeing right here, which is produced by or under license from Sega Genesis Limited, this was known as the TMSS, which, for anybody that is into the world of copyright protection, was effectively just the trademark security system for the Sega Mega Drive boards. So the first thing was executed basically when you turned on the console, and you would see this copyright notice, and then execute the currently inserted cartridge. So again, what happened over here was a company known as Accolade at the time had basically reverse engineered and used some of this copyrighted code, which brought about a fair use issue. Now, if you know anything about fair use, it's basically judged on 4 pillars. So the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount of the copyrighted work, the purpose of its use, and the effect of its use on the market. So according to this, what had actually happened from Judge Reinhardt, and basically what was noted by writing the opinion of the court, was that that TMSS file was about 20 to 25 bytes of data, and Accolade's games contained 500 to 1.5 million bytes, which meant that in a grand majority, the overwhelmingly amount, original content was Accolade's, right, and not Sega's TMSS code. Then, of course, what was looked into was the benefit of the public to be able to compete with Sega's licensed games. And again, what was important is that these games, what if they were dissimilar to the actual games being competed with, allegedly? And so the court did not accept the argument that Accolade's games competed directly with Sega, noting that there was no proof that any of Accolade's published games had diminished the market for any of Sega's games. So later on, the court actually noted that Sega code contained some functional elements that were actually not even protected under the Copyright Act of 1976. And so on the matter of reverse engineering, the court concluded where disassembly is the only way to the ideas and functional elements embodied in a copyrighted computer program, and where there is a legitimate reason for seeking such access, disassembly is a fair use of the copyrighted work as a matter of law. So this really made it seem like reverse engineering is, again, totally a legal scenario. If you gotta circumvent copyright protections, I guess according to this case, it may actually be that way. But remember, law like this is created back in the 90s, when there wasn't really that much advancement in the world of computer software, especially compared to the era we live in now. So again, it kind of stark similarity to the actual lockpick RCM takedown, but according to Nintendo there, that was actually circumvention of copyright, which, according to Nintendo, falls under the DMCA law. Now again, for this to matter, it has to go to court and be tested. And again, Nintendo is a massive company, and I doubt anybody is willing to take them on legally. Even another equivalent company in this situation. It's just not worth it. So again, with this kind of up in the air, it brings the idea of backing up or dumping these keys into legal questioning. So what was important at the time when I was researching this was this last portion. Sega v. Accolade helped serve to establish the functional principle of computer software cannot be protected by copyright law. So rather, the only legal protection to such principles can be through holding a patent or by a trade secret. The aspect of the decision has received criticism as well, citing that although the functional principles are not protectable under copyright law, the TMSS code was protectable, and by allowing reverse engineering as fair use, the decision had encouraged the copying of legally protected programs, which is something that I always thought was like kind of what this allowed, legally speaking. But in this situation, going back to Nintendo taking down lockpick RCM, yeah, maybe that's not how this situation works, ladies and gentlemen, because I looked further into the law itself. Now, because of this DMCA going around and seemingly being untested, it made me look further into the law itself, and this is where it gets even hazier. For instance, on section 117 of copyright law inside over here, this is straight from the government right now, making of an additional copy. For the longest time, I used to say, make a backup, right? Call it a day. It's probably not illegal. Very hazy. So here they've actually written that notwithstanding the provisions of Section 106, it is not an infringement for the owner of a copy of a computer program to make or authorize the making of another copy or adaptation of that computer program, provided that such a new copy or adaptation is created as an essential step in the utilization of a computer program in conjunction with the machine and that it is used in no other manner. So I assume this is where we were talking about games being run on emulators, right? Like if you make a copy, it should be running, I guess, with a computer program that I guess can run that backed up version of a game. So 2 here is that such new copy or adaptation is for archival purposes only, and that all archival copies are destroyed in the event that continued possession of a computer program should cease to be rightful. So archival is interesting. I guess execution may be different. I guess according to the law, it seems that you can make a backup if it just literally sits on a hard drive untouched. And I guess maybe the implication is re-implementing that onto another Nintendo Switch cart for use into an actual Switch system, which wouldn't be possible because you can't just create a Nintendo Switch cart without having access to Nintendo Switch's actual game writing software, which is very proprietary and very much at the distribution level, as far as I understand. So even looking further into it, Section 103 of the U.S. copyright law in regards to this, no person shall circumvent a technological measure that effectively controls access to a work protected under this title. So in this, they define that to circumvent a technological measure means to descramble a scrambled work, to decrypt an encrypted work, or otherwise avoid, bypass, remove, deactivate, or impair a technological measure without the authority of the copyright owner. And a technological measure effectively controls access to a work if the measure, in the ordinary course of its operation, requires the application of information or a process or a treatment with the authority of the copyright owner to gain access to the work. So because Nintendo has DMCA'd Lockpick RCM, it's made me question if you can even legally dump your games. Because to understand, dumping a Nintendo Switch game requires that you have access to a hacked system, you run actual unauthorized dumping tools in that hacked system, and then you dump your actual Switch cartridge. So even though I technically own this physical cartridge, I guess by dumping it onto an SD card using authorized methods makes that dump technically illegal. And I guess by that definition, it makes every ROM that currently exists for a Switch game technically illegal. So again, Nintendo kind of has put this into limbo because DMCA is a little bit different than actually going to court, right? There's no case law. Me researching this shows you that because there's no actual hard and fast rules, that this needs to go to court in order to be properly tested. If you take Nintendo to court, and again, if the individual does, Nintendo's instantly going to win. But again, if any company takes Nintendo to court, it would be an interesting lawsuit. Because on one hand, you're allowed to have archival copies of your video game. On the other hand, clearly to back up and dump games on certain platforms like the PlayStation 4 or the Nintendo Switch, or a lot of these applications where you need unauthorized dumping tools on these hacked systems, you're basically creating an illegal copy from what I understand every single time. And again, for this to be 100% illegal, this has to go to court. Will it go to court? Probably not. But we're sitting at this weird legal purgatory where now, because of Nintendo's actions, who knows? Now, on a personal level, I genuinely don't care about big corporations and their grasp on our favorite video games. At the end of the day, if I buy your hardware and I buy your console, I should legally be allowed to back up my games. It should be a legal right. Just like right to repair should be legal. I shouldn't have to go to specific companies or whatever in order to get jacked up repair rates. I should be allowed to repair certain products, or really every product, to the best of my ability. And again, when it comes to the legality of game dumping, I generally don't care even if it is illegal. I get it, alright? And again, I'm making this video because I'm kind of conceding a little bit to the Nintendo fanboys and fangirls who constantly argue about emulation being illegal. And that's because I genuinely care about the law, I care about this hobby, and I just want to be on the right side of it. And again,
me too.
On a personal level, the right side
I've been thinking about doing a lot of Switch emulation on my channel, actually.
Dumping actual tools and making sure that it runs on a Steam Deck. Because you know, with the Steam Deck OLED,
I would like to do Twilight Princess.
I ain't playing with the Switch OLED anymore. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get down to actually emulating on a Steam Deck OLED. Okay, let's do it. Okay, let's rip the Band-Aid off and call it a day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you happen to have Lockpick RCM sitting around, you can run it on a hacked Switch to get access to your specific keys. These are your production keys, your actual system keys that you'll be using to run emulators on your Steam Deck. Now, the Steam Deck, being a Linux-based device, might sound like arcane magic to some regular users. But again, with the Steam Deck, like I said at the beginning, you can keep things really simple, or you can keep things really complicated. And of course, one of the important things is to basically go to desktop mode, set it up real quick, and go to something known as Emu Deck. Now, this is quite possibly one of the easiest ways to set up emulation that I've ever seen. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that the Steam Deck is such a popular device. The more popular devices get, the easier these situations become. So all you really have to do is make sure you have an SD card, just because managing files is a little bit easier when you have external memory, but again, internal is fine. All you need to do is download Emu Deck from the actual site, and here they give you a bunch of options, so you can get regular Linux. I think they have a Windows version coming by, which it's kind of hilarious when Linux comes before Windows, but I ain't gonna knock that. You've got Chimera OS, which is another fork to work with, but here we're going to download the SteamOS version. This gives you a .desktop script, which you copy, again, to your desktop from your download folder. You run this and basically follow the on-screen directions. So downloading Emu Deck is as simple as basically going through this installation wizard, picking which emulators you want, and again, just download the ones you need. I don't play arcade games, so I made sure MAME was left unchecked. And then, of course, go to Next. It'll launch the script and download everything from the Flatpak store. So file placement is pretty easy. Depending on where you've actually stored your games and BIOS files, you basically have to go to that specific drive, go to the emulation folder that's generated, and in the BIOS folder you can place BIOS files for your PlayStation 2 games, your GameCube systems, whatever. It all corresponds to its specific folders. Same for ROMs. If you want to copy your ROMs, for instance your Super Nintendo ROMs, over to the Super Nintendo folder, then everything's placed over there. It's actually that simple. Now, what's even more wilder is if you enable the Steam ROM Manager, which runs initially under Emu Deck, you can basically just kill off Steam to begin with, because you can't have Steam enabled while you're doing this magic. It'll basically look through those folders, your ROMs, where you place your ROM files in, and it'll basically generate a list of ROMs that it recognizes. It'll download cover art for all of those ROMs, and by hitting one button, you can implement them into your Steam directory. So meaning that when you're in gaming mode and not in desktop mode, you can go to the Collections tab and basically see that your games are placed in neat collections. So PlayStation 2 games are in the PlayStation 2 tab, GameCube in the GameCube tab, Wii U in the Wii U tab. Now, because of legal reasons, I'm going to show you games from game developers that honestly don't really get... Basically anybody but Nintendo. I'm not trying to get sued here. So, again, Nintendo games look great. I've been playing Wind Waker on the Steam OLED, and whew, let me tell you, those colors pop like a madman. But again, playing games like Grand Theft Auto, Bully, Silent Hill 2, a lot of these classic PlayStation 2 titles and Super Nintendo titles, you know, where that
Lord deliver me from really that. I have no desire to do those old games.
How you want to be doing.
I remember all the problems and all the bugs and all. Well, not the bugs, excuse me. There was no bugs, but like all of the the buggy ways that they designed that would just steal your time. Like for instance, in Bully, you have to go back to the main school over and over and over and over and over again. Worse than Final Fantasy XI. Just run down that hall. Run. Over and over and over again.
Aggro.
ALG? ALG. ALG? Oh, lag. No.
Aggro. 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 Aggro.
God damn it.
Aggro.
This guy started after me. I had 4 rings when he joined, and the loose completely split down the middle. He got to 10. I'm still at 6, and I had 4 when he joined, and he had 0. Now I'm at 6 and he's at 10. You can see how the game, all the games, will absolutely always give me a lesser win percentage, no matter what. I've seen it statistically like this for years and years. Just the round robin will just straight up favor other people. It's insane statistically in ways that would be impossible. Just as long as it stacks it against me, you know.
Aggro.
Like statistically, it never should have been possible, like literally impossible by good math, for that guy to ever surpass me with these rings, ever. I was 4 ahead of him, and then by the time I reached 6, he was done, and that makes no sense because I get half the loot. That's Blizzard math for you. Perfect example of it. I mean, it's RNG, but not really. Not on quest items, no. I mean, the drop on the quest item is RNG, but who it goes to isn't. So it just straight up gave him 4 more rings than me. Just straight up. For no reason. Now, everybody else for the rest of eternity would have gotten exactly 5 out of 10. You know, each would have gotten 5.
Aggro.
But because I'm here, he gets 6 more rings than me faster. Everyone else in the world would have gotten 5 and 5. But he gets 6 and I get 4. And it's been like that. I hate seeing Blizzard math. It makes me crazy. In Overwatch, I used to be like, oh, hey, I'm 23-10 as well as this other guy. And then you would win or lose the match, and he would get 28 points, and I get 10. And if I lost, I'd lose 25 points, he'd lose 10. And I hate Blizzard math. It drives me crazy. Like, that follows no reason. Like, I don't understand how they managed to do it, really. How did this guy, he's been trapped here now for like another 15 minutes past when he should have been able to leave, because the game gave him 4 more rings than me for some reason. And he's weirded out by it, too. He's like, why can't I leave? It's because Blizzard sucks dick at math really fucking bad. And I feel bad for this guy. He's a good person. He wants to leave. But he can't because Blizzard gave him 4 more rings than me for whatever stupid-ass fucked up Blizzard math fucking round-robin reason that's impossible to actually, you know, reproduce or whatever. But as long as I'm there, he gets more rings than me, you know? It has always been like that. So
Aggro.
annoying. Did I miss a tell or a thing here? Bear with me just a second, sorry. Let's see. Oh, heart sign. What's up? No, or did I miss a tell or whatever? Where is he? Okay. I am 3. I have 4 when you joined. Like, he wanted to leave, but, like, straight up Blizzard was, like straight up fucking him. Oh, my God, I tried. I fucking tried, man. I tried, I'm sorry. I don't know what that was. I tried. Yeah, he was like, I'm not going to stay here anymore. And I was like, I don't blame you. I don't know why Blizzard fucked me in the ass and gave you 10 more rings than me. I don't know why. But yeah, like there's no reason why you should suffer too. That's what that moment was right there. Where we were both like, well, Blizzard math is retarded. And I don't know why it gave him 5 more rings than me. But it's me is why. It's because it's me. If it's me, I always get less than them. Whatever it is, the chances are always harder for me. The drop rate's always lower. The rings fall for him faster, even though that's technically mathematically impossible. You know, and all this other stuff. Yeah, but I'm so used to it. I hate feeling, like, targeted by bad RNG. It literally feels like you're targeted by it sometimes. It drives me crazy. That guy came to this camp 15 minutes after I was here. I know because I was here. I watched this camp for like 15 minutes before he showed up. And he joined me, and I was 3/4 of the way through the quest. He finished 10 minutes before I did. And you can see how they stack the decks directly against me. It makes me homicidally fucking angry. Suck a developer in the fucking face. Makes me so angry. But I just let it go, you know? It's not like I care about the time or the mission or any of that. It's just that no one else in the world gets that dirty, raw deal. No one else. I've never seen anyone else with that kind of luck. It drives me crazy, crazy. One time I sat down in front of fucking, like, you know... it was 9 people, I believe. Yeah, it was a class of 8 and a math teacher. And I rolled Snake Eyes 28 times in a row. I didn't have a camera because there was no cell phone cameras at that point. But I had 7 or whatever, like 8 witnesses though. You know, well, 9 if you count me. And I was like, yeah, when I got to 7 Snake Eyes, he was like, we're going to start really watching this. And they all started gathering around. Then I rolled 11 more. Then I rolled 5 more. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And he was like, what we just saw here is a mathematical miracle, statistically impossible, and we're going to calculate the odds. And it was like 1 in 14 fucking trillion or some goddamn shit. Crazier than catching 50 fucking... he was like, the chances of getting 50 royal flushes in a row were less likely. And I was like, yeah, I know. And he was like, the dice have to be like... He was like, the dice, except he had me switch the dice twice. He had me use other dice like two times through it.
Aggro.
And I was like, I don't know. I don't know why it's like this for me. I've never known why it's like it for me. It makes me so fucking angry. Having witnesses makes me really, really angry. Like when you see it, you're like, why? Okay, like why did this fail for just you? I'll be standing there around 900 fucking people, and something will fall on just me. It drives me crazy, crazy. Feels like having a deck stacked against you. It's so annoying. Like, I'm still here. You see how I had to go 45 minutes longer than that guy? See how he just got to leave. He joined. He came to the camp 15 minutes after me. He left 45 minutes before. Like, why? Why did this happen? This is why I didn't want to do any questing. This is why I don't like Classic. The fucking RNG is always worse for me than anyone else. Like, how long do I have to sit here and do this quest? I have seen 50 people come through here and finish this quest before me, and I'm killing faster than all of them. It's so stupid. I have killed, like, why do I have to stand here and do this piece of shit quest for 5 fucking hours when everybody else gets to leave after 10 or 15 minutes? Why am I the one singled out by the RNG? It's goddamn garbage. Fucking game. Like, see what I'm saying? Like, why I got cold feet today? I knew what it was gonna be. Bullshit like this. Like, come on, man. This is why I couldn't do Classic. I quit Classic at level 41 because I was like, I have killed. I saw it. I had a mob info too. It's like a mod that I use. I had killed the Zanzil guys in STV. And there's this, some dude came in, and it was the same situation like this. He got his mixture after 39 kills. I was on 770, and I quit Classic. I didn't even get to 60 the first time. That quest pissed me off so bad. I sat there for 7 fucking hours at Zanzil, watching like group after group after group after group after group finish it in like maybe 10 to 40 minutes. And I'm looking at it like hours